Hi, I'm Mike Overbey. I'm the new president of LaSalle High School, and I'm here today with Drue Chrisman, a 2016 graduate of LaSalle and also an Ohio State grad, have to add that too, and currently a punter for the Cincinnati Bengals. Drue, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Mike. Thanks for having me on, man. It's always good to come back to the LaSalle community.
Awesome. So many of us have always keeping a close eye on your career, but you've made the news for a different reason over the past few weeks. Can you tell us what you're doing, why and how it started? Any updates?
Yeah, so I've been doing DoorDash as of recent. Yeah, it started off as so this time period we have between OTAs and training camp, it's kind of up to us. We have like a month and a half off. And I was just looking for a way to get a little extra workout. I like cycling. I debated getting a Peloton, but just wasn't going to pull the trigger on the monthly subscription. So I came across DoorDash by seeing some video online on Instagram, and I was like, this seems so much fun. It's a way for me to like interact with the community, get around downtown Cincinnati, plus get a good workout while I'm at it. So I started doing that, made a couple of videos, and now it's transformed into something that I could even imagine happening. And I've been using the money that I make on DoorDash to kind of give back in the community a little bit. That call to serve motto I'm trying to put forward as much as possible. And yeah, I think a lot of people have enjoyed it, and then now they're even helping me and donating food towards the cause itself. So it's been a fun ride, no pun intended, but yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
So are you surprised by all the attention that you've received?
I'm surprised how quickly it's happened. I'm sure if I wasn't a Cincinnati Bengal, or maybe not a local kid and all that, it might not have, caught as much attention as it has. But it's certainly a unique thing to do during this off season, because most guys, it's kind of a one last chance to, get away, vacation before the season starts back up. And, we're decided to stay closer at home now. I've got a 1-year-old now. You might be able to hear in the background. So traveling's not as always the easiest. So we wanted to stay close to home. And yeah, people have really picked it up and just kind of run with it. So it's been a lot of fun.
So do you have a favorite story or two when you hand out the food to non-paying customers, to people that may be homeless or down on their luck?
Yeah. First one kind of comes to mind is the first one I did, actually. And this one was even before DoorDash. I was DoorDashing at the time, but hadn't quite used the funds yet to support local business, buy food from them, and then hand out around town. This was a guy that I'd seen multiple times. He's always outside of the Chipotle by Fountain Square. His name's John. And I've talked to him a couple times, and when I would ride and go pick up orders from Chipotle and whatnot. And I decided I'd gone to the facility earlier that day, made myself a meal, and then grabbed an extra meal from him from the personal chefs at the Bengals. And I gave him that extra meal, and I could just see like his face light up and just how much that meal meant to him and kind of changed his day. And so ever since then, I kind of like sparked something inside of me. And I was like, I feel like I've been missing this lately. I did some charity work in college, and obviously at LaSalle, we do like, the canned food drive and all the different organizations we have that are great. But I hadn't done too much of it recently. I've been so focused just on, being a professional athlete, cracking the roster. And yeah, seeing his face light up, having that feeling back again, I was like, I've been missing this. This is what I want to do. This is how I feel like I can give back in my own little way. And just kind of snowballed ideas since, how to even make it even bigger.
Well, you brought it up a few times. At LaSalle, we have the 5 pillars of leadership, scholarship, faith, service, and community. And your current actions really speak to the service and community pillars. How did LaSalle help you cultivate your desire to give back to the community?
Right. I think I've always been looking how to, help someone else. I think that has to do with kind of how I was raised. Especially understanding just how fortunate and blessed I have been growing up. That's something my parents have always made sure that I acknowledge. Like, you're living in America. We're able to pay for your education, send you to a private school in Cincinnati. And so I know I'm very blessed in the circumstances of how I've grown up. So that's something I've always recognized and wanted to give back a little bit, knowing that. But it's certainly going to LaSalle and seeing, as I mentioned earlier, like, the canned food drive. I remember I was very active in that every year and had a lot of fun doing that. Maybe in a way LaSalle has shaped me to feed people because of, that canned food drive while I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, just the pillars you mentioned, the service, that's certainly something I do, but I think I strive to be the best in all 5 pillars. And I think that's a great way to live and a great way I can help back the community. Favorite LaSalle moment? Well, it's got to be football. It's 2. I mean, we went state back to back. First time ever winning, I think, a playoff game, and then we go and we win 2 state championships my junior, senior year. Those both were incredible at Ohio State, both of them, because I think it was typically at the Hall of Fame field, but something under construction or whatnot. We went to the shoe. So that was special, especially when I knew that I was going to be going to Ohio State the following year, my senior year. But looking back, it was actually my senior year doing something, a position that I wasn't quite comfortable with. My best friend in high school, Nick Veit, shout out to him. He went down game 1. He was our kicker, and I was the punter at the time. So I had to kick the remainder of my senior season. And we were playing Coleraine. It was a couple weeks into the season, still learning how to kick. And just torrential downpour at the end of the game. Game's close. I hit like a game, leading field goal. Probably one of the only field goals I hit all year, but the only one that really mattered. And I can just remember this is because it was different. I had been a punter, and it's a complete different feeling as a kicker.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also a lot more stress that comes with kicking as well. And I quickly learned after the senior year, I was like, hey, you know what? I'll just stick to punting. But I do have that great moment and beating Coleraine. And it was always fun to give Kerry Combs, who was at Ohio State, some make fun of him for kicking that game-winning field goal. So it's certainly my class. We had a lot of fun. And we learned a lot, but we also had a lot of fun in the classroom as well. That 2016 class, special group of guys there, and some lifelong friends I'll have going forward for sure. Still talk to a lot of them today. And I've been fortunate to put in situations even going forward. Like I saw that brotherhood firsthand at LaSalle, and then when I got to Ohio State, I had another great relationship with the guys on the team in general. And then now even in the locker room now, I still feel that same kind of brotherhood. I don't know if it's just, being in Ohio, just a bunch of blue collar, humble working guys just trying to get the job done. But, you felt that at LaSalle, and everybody made sure you felt like you belonged. So even though I was coming from Lawrenceburg, Indiana, I didn't know anybody freshman year. A lot of these guys went to all the grade schools growing up, and they knew each other coming in. But, coming from a small town in Indiana, driving every day, I never felt out of place, even from day one. So,
all right, Drue. Well, I don't want to take any more of your time. I appreciate this. This is great. And, we are noticing that great work that you're doing. And it sounds like we reinforce what your parents, the awesome foundation that your parents gave you in Lawrenceburg, Indiana gave you, and to see you go out and to spread the great work that you're doing and helping those that are less fortunate than us. I think it's awesome. So thank you.